I am of those teams. And I can already see a post of all of us predicting against ANR and ANR winning the monthly final. And I just can't see that. I just want to take that away from them. So I'm predicting in our own safety here. I'm taking one for the team. I think that SK is still the favorite for this one. ANR definitely got their chances though, but I'm avoiding just the controversies, you know? I'm keeping us safe.
Teddy's predicting ANR because he's scared of Rama. That's the first. That's the first I've seen for someone predicting. But bans are in. We're heading on to Infinite Doom. My favorite map. Definitely not being sarcastic with that. Poco, Bonnie, and the Squeak from the side of ANR. SK Gaming going to ban out the Squeak, the Cordelius, and the Shelly. So I think it's pretty clear to see, even without seeing on the screen, who's got the first pick after seeing those bans. But Crow's going to be the first from ANR, and we love a bit of Crow here.
Yeah, you can give me 5 bounty quests. I'm still not going to be playing on Infinite Doom. Lovely bans across the board. Not bad at all. Taking out some of those very dangerous brawlers here. I'm thinking particularly of the Cordelius as well as the Shelly picks that can just be really, really up close and personal and dangerous. Tara is going to be the follow-up pick here. Don't mind it at all. The bushes are going to be great for her kit and get that mobility, and obviously the pulls as well. I kind of love as well how Gina's fallen off slowly across the last year or so, and we've been seeing more and more Tara to replace it and still bring that ability to pull and turn around games. So I think that is a really good addition here to their roster, as they'll go for the Brock as well for the wall breaks, and more often than not on this map, actually push breaks to just, you know, make sure you have information on your opponents if they push up.
That's the thing, I feel like it's a little bit, you know, contradicting. Going with the Tara who wants to fly under the radar in those bushes, get some pulls out of nowhere, and then Brock who's going to completely tear all the bush down. I suppose against the Crow, you don't really want the bushes to be there because of the scouting ability that Crow does have, and Amber obviously burning the bushes down as well. So ANR kind of adding to what Brock's already going to be doing and breaking up a lot of the map. I think that might help them out a bit if they can manage to duke this Brock out, and or if they do choose to take in something a little bit longer range. But at the same time, I love the Brock. I just think that the Amber return picks, it works quite often.
Yeah, I like it as well. I mean, it's going to be very efficient just at taking down those bushes, and that is kind of the name of the game on Infinite Doom. Similarly to Double Swoosh, to that extent, where making sure that you're either a terror in the bushes or that you remove them altogether from the equation. And Buster is going to be more the terror in the bush, in all honesty. Very scary if you get up close, very scary if you get in range of a pull. But besides that, gotta be careful himself about how he places himself and how he plays around the little cover that there is on the map.
Yeah, we'll see if he does manage to do it, but, you know, the same with Amber. Like, you're going to be burning the bushes down. I don't know why we're kind of going something that needs the bushes. B going to be picked up by SK Gaming, and I think that's a great pick by them. Good counter into a lot of the ideas that ANR are bringing to the table. If they can break up this map now, they're going to be in a great spot, because Crow's not going to be able to use his scouting. His range isn't as long as that, as long as the Brock or the B, and obviously the spawners can come in from the Tara as well.
I don't know which side to side with more when it comes to this draft. I feel like I like some of the ideas on both sides, really. Feel like both could really come out on top with this one. I'm really looking forward to seeing the execution here on both sides. We have some interesting ideas, but also some similarities in the way they can both destroy some of those bushes, and already they have started the party. And they also both have pulls, with the Tara and Buster both having the ability to pull their opposition up close. And I mean, there we go. Okay, ANR. I mean, what an explosive start. Holy.
Yeah, I think we kind of got to see a little bit more from SK here, breaking up the map, and he has obviously got some gadgets left in hand as well. Nob's going to pick up his super, though, as well, thanks to Mebius staying in his vicinity, but there's the 42 HP. Mebius is low. Super should surely come in, but actually doesn't. Burn down damage. A Crow's going to keep him quite low, but now the super comes in. Rama's falling so low, but actually survives out as well. Chaos needs to get him down here, or it's just going to get too far out of reach. There it is, and now the control's in SK's hands, too.
2 stars. Making the difference now. No, gonna try to get towards the super here. There are some big tags coming through, but Rama finds that Chaos and extends the lead to 5 now. Ope flashing the pool, but not quite going to commit to it just yet. They have some utility to work with. The Tara pool is there. The Rocket Rain is there for Yoshi as well. And charge shot now too for Chaos. Someone gets in range, they could get punished, but so far not quite able to find that connection. However, the wolves are going to be out of the picture on the central area of their spawn, so less cover for them to work with.
Yeah, I feel like OP can surely pick this up with a double pull here and kind of go for it, but he's actually going to wait it out, just try and get a kill in the closing seconds, which is probably smart. Don't want to get hit by Crow here either, as he's going to get slowed down. There's the shot, and now the slow comes in. Doesn't actually get pulled in by that. I didn't even know that was a mechanic, to be honest with you. You've got the super, it completely cancels out a Tara pull coming in on you. But now SK just got no chance, because the jump comes in from Mebius there, and not getting anything done, get the kill, but still 5 needing. I don't think it's possible. They might be able to do it, though. Rocket Rain.
The Buster being such a threat in the early game before those bushes get removed, and even afterwards. I mean, how he played around that Tara pool, like, it's not very often that Tara pulls you and you're the one going away with a kill and your life.
Yeah, and also not feeding him much either, but the Rattled Hive coming out now from Chaos, just trying to get some shots in. Nob's going to survive this one out, though, but the control and star lead is now in the hands of SK, so it's going to be ANR who need to push in. The Pet's going to go down from OP and quickly dealt with, but that's actually 3 already used from him, but should be able to pick up Mebius here with a good pinch from his teammates. Rattled Hive being used once more, and there is the kill. 5-0, and ANR now are the ones in a bad spot.
Great adaptation here. The pull will connect onto Rama, and that's going to be a kill. A follow-up as well from Chaos as he finds Mebius, and it's 9-0. We went from a dominant game for ANR to an even more dominant one for SK now.
9-0 is definitely not something that ANR expected to come into this game with. Rocket Rain goes over the top of that shield and gets some good damage in, but OP just pushing forward, gets his super yet again, and now might be able to rotate over to this right-hand side and get some shots in, but I'm sure Mebius will scout this out nicely. Even more burn down, the pull comes through and not going to get any connection. Slow down there from from Mebius as well, but actually takes a few throwing cards to the face in return.
Oh, taking a whole bunch of damage, and this game seems like it was over before it even started. 6 stars to Yoshi's name as well. What a performance from him, a jump in from Mebius, and I mean, they'll get their first kill now, but they're still 12 kills behind, 12 stars behind, rather.
I mean, 6 of those will come from Yoshi, and maybe they get a team wipe and a bit more, and they might be able to bring it back. And I'm not even counting out at this point, but they need to avoid dying at the same time as well. Nob's going to get 1 burn down onto Yoshi here, thanks to the shots from Mebius. ANR's not going to connect anything other than that. Mebius needs to survive this one out now. Shots coming through, and there is the finish from SK.
It's kind of like steamroll, right? And snowball SK to victory in this one. I think this initial fight might be very important, especially as those walls and bushes get taken out of the picture. They really want to get those early kills, early stars locked in and play off that. But Nob is taking so much damage already from the B. Needs to be very careful. And the second gadget already popped by Chaos, but no connections on that one.
That might have actually been his 3rd. I'm not seeing any gadgets left from him or OP
third.
either.
Wow.
Yoshi's going to use all his gadgets as well. No more gadgets left for SK Gaming, and I'm sure quite a lot still in the bag for ANR. Bouncing back shots as well. Surprised they actually took some shots at him there, but at the same time, they're only 1 star up, so need to deflate some of this push, or as it could go bad for SK Gaming, and it is going to go bad for them. SK OP is going to pick up his pull, but not really getting anything in return for it.
Let's see if they can find something on the side of SK. I like that ANR pushed up, keeping some of that space that they managed to earn in a challenging way. The Tara pool is something they need to be very much aware of, as it could turn around the lead very quickly. It's only 1 start separating both teams, so a single kill will turn things around if it's not traded.
Yeah, you're going to have to think twice about pulling in here. Nob's not going to be able to get pulled in. 2 of them do, though. And the follow-up is not even going to be damage pet on that one either. Now the lead's taken back and Nob overextended a little bit. I mean, not really a lot could be done because he needed to defend his 2 teammates who got pulled in. 3k hits onto Mebius, and Chaos has got all the stars. Well, he's all they need for a turnaround, but the pull comes in, and that should be knocked down as well, and that extends the lead to 6.
Great situation here for SK. Rama gonna fall as well to the Rocket Rain from Yoshi. Nob up close, but still caught off guard by OP, and the pool is gonna settle it here. 15 stars to 3 in favor of SK Gaming. They'll take the opening set.
I mean, I think deserved after that as well. They just played it a bit better. You know, ANR, they took a hefty lead in that first game early on, but from there, SK just looked better throughout the second two, so good.
Definitely so. Ring of Fire coming up next for some longer range hot zone action, although it can still get close and messy in those bushy areas and with some of those walls around the mid as well. Down the water slide as we head into set number 2, and a chance for a fresh start for ANR was just, yeah, I kind of agree with you. It just wasn't quite the draft they were hoping for in set 1. A chance here to draft anew as Shelly, Crow, and Stu are going to be the bans from ANR. SK Gaming have first pick. They banned out Bonnie, Stu, and Pam, and Squeak is going to be their first.
Well, you know, it does a decent job of kind of zoning out, but I feel like Lou does something pretty similar. Looking at the top win rates, though, we got the Shelly band out, the Stu band out. Sam still remains, and he is up there as well. So wouldn't really mind him coming through, especially into a Squeak or something like that, who doesn't have the biggest amount of DPS. It wouldn't really go amiss here, but I feel like they've kind of got to take something a bit more controlling first, and it's definitely one of those kind of like last pick surprising brawlers to come out. We'll see if ANR do choose to kind of switch things up and go a little bit more aggressive, though. Not that Buster isn't aggressive, we just didn't really see him going too aggressive. But Poco's going to come down as the first, and you know, I don't mind Poco, but as a first, I feel like that gives SK a lot of capability of just countering this out.
Yeah, it is an interesting approach. I mean, I don't necessarily hate it, but as you said, I kind of don't know how much I like it this early into the draft. Might be revealing ANR's hand a little bit, but it seems like they have a plan that they're going to go Lou paired with it. Not sure how I feel about that, as Lou is not necessarily bad, but it's not really something that like I would, you know, imagine being paired with an early Poco pick either. So I'm very curious about how SK are going to be dealing with this draft.
Yeah, well, I'm liking the Lou pick a lot more than I'm liking the Poco, I'll tell you that, but we'll see if SK can bounce back, you know, it kind of prevents him from taking the tank or something like that out of their hands because of how good Lou is at kind of defending against those things. But Lola's going to come in, and obviously Ego and Freeze Frame can do a good job of tanking quite a lot of these Lou shots, and they're kind of playing the range game as well to stay out of having to just run in a straight line at this Lou and feeder. So I don't mind that pick from SK. It's been a bit of a while since we've seen some Lola, especially in a map like this, but I still don't hate it.
I prefer the draft from SK so far, but we still have one pick left for each, and those could make quite a bit of a difference. They're gonna go for the Cordelius, which I think is a really, I mean, menacing pick. We did see it get shut down earlier today, but will they be able to shut that down? ANR, they have their final pick. They need something that has the most good matchups or counters that Cordelius particularly well. Is, I mean, if they were considering going for a tanky idea, it's going to be a lot tougher to heal up the tank if he's in the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult now. Now I'm going to go with the Grey, a little bit of a TP in. I feel like that was kind of them who were lacking the DPS rather than anything else. Poco and Grey, not the most DPS, and you know, not that they're against anything tanky, but they've got some aggression coming in with the Cordelius, and if you can just take, you know, even a single one of these brawlers out of the equation, something like a Poco out of the equation, or a Lou when he's got that super, it can definitely make a big difference for the overall game.
Yeah, this is a weird draft for me, and are really like just no synergy between the brawlers at all. It's a weird one for sure. I mean, I really want to side with SK with their comp, but I'm hoping that ANR have something to show with this comp, because I'm not overly convinced, at least not in the drafting stage.
So well, it was a good residue early on. That's a great walking cane through, and now Chaos just trying to get some shots again, thanks to that residue still being there. Medius quite low as well, but actually getting some good percentage on the zone. Not really got a lot of backup. Usually be the person in the back lines, not the front lines, but this time it's working quite well for him. Brahma's going to get a super early on, and Ope just trying to slot back into this mix, but actually gets caught on those breakable boxes.
He's going to be placed down in the zone, which I kind of like. Quick access in, but also quick access out if things get out of hand. Not quick enough for Rama, though, as he goes down, and now will be TPing back in, getting some more percentages as well. Trying to take care of that Ego, but there's going to be another one placed down already. Shadow Realm now as well. And Ope is going to get out of it, jump around, and might even find a follow-up here onto Rama. Rama gets him to 1 HP, but they trade each other out. It's still a slim lead in favor of ANR. With both players low, that heal from Mebius is going to have to come out eventually. And this would be the time for it. He is going to pop it eventually. Rama has super, but can't use it because Ope doesn't let him. And so far, I mean, ANR, they have the lead percentage-wise, but they've just lost every single bit of control they had.
Yeah, but that TP still remains. Not really letting him get to it, though, and Ope's very close to being stunned, but manages to avoid really nicely thanks to the speed that he's getting from it. Maybe he's going to go in. Nob gets the TP in as well. Ope having to retreat and come back. Not going to reach him, though, and actually gets frozen out there as well. And now it's ANR in their backlines, but it's Yoshi on the zone. Nob's eventually going to come back, but the heal keeps him in it. The ego's placed down, but no freeze frame just yet. It's actually close, 20% in it, and Ope's going to drag Nob into that Shadow Realm.
I am so confused by this ANR comp, and so confused that it's working so well. Really, I mean, I didn't really think of the TPs being such a great way to just get towards that zone and then get healed up and just overstay your welcome, really. But they still need 5%, and SK have been catching up, not with a walking cane, not gonna connect. Mebius is in the zone though, has a heal as well, and that's going to be settling it as it.
I mean, the Poco, it's not like he's got anybody in front who he can just heal, you know? It's like a Grey and a Lou. They should still be falling down, but at the same time, it just seemed like maybe the Otis wasn't doing his duties well enough.
Mebius going to be taking very low HP, and Ope takes him down. Walking King connects, but Ope survives 400 HP, and for now it's going to be all SK in the zone. A sticky residue on the left side of the mid for ANR, and after they find a kill on that right-hand side, another walking K, Nob going in and gets the kill, but is out of gadgets now.
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a lead this time for SK. Nothing ANR can't come back from, though. They're just waiting this Lou super out and trying not to feed another in the meantime. Yoshi's going to use his super, not make any connections, but Ope just trying to make a push forward. Gets his super and surely going to be pushing towards maybe as here. 3 mushrooms picked up, jump over and say hello to these shots. Got another one as well. Drags Rama into the realm this time, and Nob's going to go down over the other side as well. Great stuff from Ope. Needs to cycle here and not let Rama place his super down. Does just that. And now it's Mebius' turn, surely. But this time, Ope might actually fall. Retreats nice though and survives it. Ow.
Mebius will fall eventually, and ANR is still a bit behind. As I said earlier, it's nothing they can't come back from. But as we get closer and closer to the finish line, they might not have the time to do so. As SK are still in the zone, are still a threat, and Mebius will get out of the Shadow Realm. Thankfully for him, he is behind cover, he is safe. Nope is chasing Rama now. Will eventually get the kill onto him as well. Mebius will fall to Yoshi. And it's looking like SK are in a really good position to take this game.
Another super as well, and Ope's just cycling. This time he's played it so much better in the first at Question, but in this one it's so much better. Lou Super's just keeping him off for now. There's a little TP over to the right side there as well, but Ope's going to suck Mebius into this Shadow Realm now, and another Lou Super's placed down, but Ope just healing up nicely off these mushrooms and does get brought out of it, but can't be too far enough. A TP straight into the hands of Yoshi, who gets the takedown, but ANR are making a comeback.
Yeah, I don't know if that TP was on like, I don't know if it was intentional, but regardless, SK Gaming running away with this one, even though ANR are not that far behind. They need a bit of a miracle here. Nob does FTP, goes for 1, and they might still stand a chance. They need to keep SK off that zone. They're a couple percentage behind, and they might actually steal this one away. There's going to be a messy fight, a final fight, but one that ANR somehow will win and lock that game. And that's going to be a set for ANR with one of the wildest drafts I've seen in a hot minute.
I mean, Rama seems surprised. It's definitely a difficult one to swallow, as I said, but moving on from there, we're going on to Hard Rock Mine in Gem Grab, and, you know, they're not going to complain about this one. It's been in the game for the longest amount of time, rarely drops out of that competitive map pool, so should be pretty confident for both of these teams, and this one's got to be a decision maker.
Let's see what they got in mind here for this draft. As we'll be seeing the first pick on the side of ANR, and they'll go for a tower immediately. The bans for ANR were Nita, Poco, and Carl. SK Gaming taking out Squeak, Cordelius, and Shelly. Across the board, like those bans, again, SK have been quite consistently banning Cordelius and Shelly on those bushier maps, those maps where you tend to see more flanks, or embrace it, as we saw in the previous set with the Cordelius, even though that didn't work out. I mean, I don't think the Cordelius was necessarily the problem, let's say, as Ruffs is going to be their first pick, and I like it. I mean, Ruffs is one of my favorite brawlers, so I might be a little bit biased, but it can still get some good value and deal well with some of those, you know, very meta picks on these maps we see from the brawler win rates. Stu and Crow both have a pretty bad matchup against the Ruff, so I like it. We'll see the 8-bit as well. My favorite gem carry here, so far, I mean, SK Gaming is making me really happy.
Yeah, I mean, if he can't play Rico, he's going to play something else that can bounce around the walls as well. I like the Ruffs pick, but Gray's going to come in next from ANR. Obviously, back to their last pick now. But we still need something in the mid. I don't think Gray's going to be much of a mid. Maybe just set up a TP to get them out of that position. It wouldn't be really that much of a bad thing, but something like a Gus, maybe something like that. They're going to go with the Sam and actually play that Gray through the mid. I don't mind the Sam, but it's going to feed Ruffs a lot of supers. They're just going to make sure that he doesn't get in those back lines as often as he'd like to.
Well, that's going to be some good aggression. Where's that Sam? Looking forward to watching that. And we have a final pick from SK Gaming to try to solidify their draft, make it as Sam-proof as they can. In a couple seconds, we'll see their decision on that. And there goes Spike, which has been a pretty traditional Sam counter. But even then, I mean, Sam has a lot of HP. Will heal it up quickly as well, and if he manages to hit his super against the Spike, that's still going to be taking about 60% of his health away, so not sure if that's going to be enough. They do have some good damage. 8-bit deals a good bit of damage as well, and they have some wall break as well, but overall I feel like, I mean, if it's played well, the Sam here can still be a threat.
Yeah, I think so too. It's just whether or not, if he can get in the back lines, you know, Spike's not going to be able to do anything anyway. It's the same with Ruffs. If it's pushed back against the Sam, it's going to be very difficult regardless. Just got to keep his lane and make sure that Sam's not going to get up. We do see the matchup of the Spike versus the Sam, and he is getting up straight away, straight into those back lines, but it's going to be SK. You've got to deal with him quick. Gets the pullback and gets the kill, and now he's in a good spot.
Yeah, this is a really solid start here from ANR. Every gem that's been spawned has been in their pocket. Eventually, OP does find Knob, so it's a little bit of a light here for SK Gaming, and that's going to help as well that they have a damage booster now available as well, and they lose the gem carrier. Rama out of position, gets punished heavily, and suddenly every single gem is on SK's pocket.
Yeah, Nob's going to go down as well. Rama trying to make a fight in this mid here versus Yoshi, who's just going to retreat, fall back. He doesn't really mind if he loses that turret. He's got another in hand anyway. Maybe he's coming down his left-hand side and just trying to let Nob play out in a little bit of an easier matchup against that Ruffs. And he does get the control, same as last time. Pull comes through, going to get Spike down, but I'm not sure if that's really worth it. Yoshi alone now might go down, and Sam picks him up. Can he get out, though? Ope's surely going to be able to wipe him straight out here, and does just that. But now he's got 8 gems, and he's not the person who wants them.
Yeah, it's quite a squishy brawler to carry them as well, and doesn't really have any mobility to work with. Does have fertilizer that could come in handy. The Knob is going to get melted down by Ope. So far doing a really good job. A TP back to safety from Rama. Jordan was a pull as well, but not enough apparently to get that kill. And it's going to be a countdown locked in by SK Gaming. 15 seconds for ANR to interrupt it, but they already lost Knob, and this push is quickly deflating.
Yeah, Rama gets taken down as well there, and SK Gaming trying to answer back now after losing that last set, and after such a bad start to this game where Rama had so many gems.
Who's a good boy?
Game 2, and a chance here for SK Gaming to double down, take back that set advantage, and put ANR in a threatening position once more. Early on, first 2 gems will be picked up by ANR. Makes sense. They don't have as long a setup time. They don't need a damage booster to really be that implicated in the mid fight. But now that it's available for SK, it's gonna be something very strong for them to play around with.
Yeah, well, Nob gonna push down his left-hand side, make some great moves now. The turret's low, gets the takedown on both of them. And Yoshi managed to clean up, but walking came through there, didn't do too much because those walls can't be broken, but Oh, he TP'd out. I was so confused if he just TP'd in and got melted. It was like, I was like, what just happened? But now Nob's going to TP in. Mebius behind him as well. Gets the TP through, but instantly melted off the map. Pretty close, but Nob's going to go down, and now it's a 3v1, and Ramen not in a good spot.
Yeah, definitely not much you can do from there either, and another rough Skagit in the final one. Gonna be buying some extra time as well. A nice gem lead for SK Gaming. And so far, this round from ANR not paying off. They might be able still to change things around, not trying to stay alive, create some space for his teammates to catch up gem-wise, and eventually they're only a couple behind, but with 2 that spawned in the mid, now SK suddenly back at 9 and 1 away from a countdown.
Chaos going to be able to drop this straight on Nob's face there, but doesn't actually get it off. And Mebius has got 1 gem, and that's all they need for them to start this countdown. But Nob's behind, maybe over-aggressing a little bit there. Steps out line and gets taken down, but Rama gets 7, needs a TP and gets a TP. Not now having to use it as he retreated far. Oh, the TP comes in from Mebius, and the cheat cartridge away from Yoshi. Beautiful defense from him and a great bait out, but it's still as close as ever. 9-8. They've kind of got to stay in the mid.
It was a good attempt, but they need the next 2 gems here, and they actually will be losing 2 players. That's just not possible anymore. The next one will spawn. Yoshi surely will pick it up, and this is a disaster for ANR as SK Gaming locking this game and set. They're 1 ahead now and 1 step closer to the grand finals.
Well, I mean, SK just need 1 set. As you say, it's so close for them, and after feeling like they should have won the last...
Sitting on 9, Yoshi and Ope sitting on 8 each.
I mean, let's put it this way. If the mid gets 8 kills, then he's done something right. Put it that way, because that is a great performance from him. Heading on to pit stop in Heist now. Very offensive mode, and I feel like that can help ANR out of this tough spot quite a fair amount, as they are usually quite an aggressive team, as we've just seen in that last one. Not playing the Sam. If you can play something similar, a tank or something like that, then they're going to be all right. But SK, if they can play their defensive game with a little hint of aggression in there, I think they'll be fine too.
ANR first picking the Bonnie. It's an interesting one here. I mean, we've definitely seen it work, and it's not an unusual either. But their bans were Carl Edgar as well, which is worth pointing out, and probably that we pretty much only see in pit stop at the moment. As well as, of course, the Rico, which has always been quite decent here. And we'll see the Dynamite, actually. Barley was banned, but Dyna is a really good option here as well. Can deal a lot of damage on safe, as both destruction and some mobility. So I definitely like it, and I want to see how SK Gaming play that one out.
Yeah, we'll see if they manage to make something happen with it. I do like the Dynamite here. I think it's up there. We saw it played earlier. I think it was by Reply Totem and maybe in their first game, and it worked an absolute treat for them. So we'll see if KS then. SK can do the same. M's going to come in after that as well, and I do kind of like that, preventing some tanks further on down the line, and with Bonnie as the first pick, I feel like they're going to need some tanks to go along with that. A little bit of aggression to go along with the range. I think that's not a bad first pick, but we'll see if ANR continue this on.
M's to shut down any aggressive ideas. A super as well can definitely help keep some control around some areas of the map. Play around those walls nicely.
Ooh.
But tanks are not going to be shut down just yet, as we'll see another Sam brought in by ANR. And I mean, the Sam wasn't doing bad in gem grab. Let's see if it can do a better job now here in Heist.
Maybe a Buzz might come down, something like that, a little double down on the tanks, or maybe SK will go for that on their side if it's not taken by ANR. Buzz is usually quite good on a map like this, or possibly another tank as well that can do well against that. Daryl going to come in from ANR, double down on the tanks and triple down on the aggression for when that Bonnie's got the super. SK Gaming need to find an answer to this kind of thing now, and you question whether they want to go for like a Primo or something like that, something that's going to be able to deal with quite a lot of tanks quite well. But Nob, if he gets the damage down on Primo, it's going to be absolutely fine, or if they'll just like kind of double down on the tank defenders.
Yeah, I don't know what the right answer is here, really. They could go for a Primo or a Buzz, but I mean, yeah, they kind of are playing against their own Shelly band there, really. They took it out of the equation, but it would have been wonderful to have here. Colette is going to be their pick. does good against tanks. Not necessarily the easiest to use against the Sam that can just constantly heal up. But, and the Daryl shield is still going to be somewhat of a problem. But they can put in some work. This is going to be a fun one for sure. Very dynamic, as to be expected with those comps.
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw I think it was earlier in APAC we saw Colette come through, and it was played with Push It Back, and it just worked really well against some of the tanks that they managed to bring in. So we'll see if it's able to do more of the same in this one here. Now, Nob playing down this left-hand side. OP's got this double down on tanks, and if Colette gets unsafe, it's not going to do too much, but Dynamite is. Stun comes through, he gets the shots in, and now it's down to a defense. Nob coming through, and Yoshi getting shots across here and trying to find Mebius, and just all-out defense for SK. I think, did he leave someone up on safe, or did they clean it up? Great stuff from Yoshi to clean that, but Rama's going to go aggressive, not going to be able to do too much, gets taken down. ANR, they have the aggression now, but it's taken down too. They're leaving Chaos on safe. Dyna on safe is not something you can just ignore.
Yeah, Dyna has so much damage available to him. A bit of a mistake, I think. I mean, if they manage to all survive... Oh, no, the miss jump as well from Mebius. That's going to be very annoying. I mean, he still manages to get some good damage on safe, in all fairness. But eventually, everyone gets cleared up, and it's only Rama left alive, and he's taking a lot of damage as well. Ikea sticking him down and playing some really good Dynamite so far.
I think I'm a little bit scared for ANR now, because it's going to be very tough, and the shots are not stopping from Chaos and Colette. Beautiful pinch from them. Rama's low as well. He's going to be burnt down by this super from Yoshi as well, and now Dyna's on safe. All they have to do is kind of defend him out, and Nob's just going as well. He's leaving the Ems and Dyna on safe. I think maybe he's either accepting defeat or accepting that Mebius are going to be able to defend this one for the rest of the game. Maybe a questionable decision there, but Rama's just going to go, and he's not going to get far.
Yeah, interesting decisions all around from ANR, to be honest. SK Gaming, so far, looking really good to lock in that match point. Maybe it's going to jump onto the save, but they only have 3% left on their save. If the Dynamite gets anywhere close to it, it's going to be GG's, and the Ems might even be able to settle it now, as they're getting some more damage on save, but OP eventually walks in.
And you're not really going to be too worried about winning the game. They just left Dyna on the safe so much. I feel like they've kind of got to keep someone locked down on him. But the question is, who?
Oh, Nob is out of the equation already. And Rama just waiting a bit to get his super. Yoshi not waiting around anymore. Takes him down. Ikeos finds Nob. It's going to be a trade actually between them. And Yoshi was another one here. So far, wonderful stuff, really, from SK Gaming. They haven't managed to get any damage on safe yet. And actually, Rama is going to be able to get some good damage now to give the lead to ANR. Just one roll on that save, 35%. That's brutal.
But I mean, Chaos is playing the Dyna of his life, the game of his life. No matter what, OP's helping him out, just defending him, and that's what they need to do now. The stun onto Rama as well. They can just defend Chaos for the rest of the game. Surely slows there, but a good pinch from Mebius. OP's just going to surely accept death here and go down. The super's there, though, and the shot's coming through. Mebius going to jump straight out safe, but a defensive super from Chaos to push him into the grips of OP. And now Chaos back in the same spot.
Tricky situation. Rama falls. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade as he got the Dyna just beforehand. Nob is able to get the Ems before going down himself to Yoshi. Things are very even right now. 1% making up the difference. That would have been more in line with the previous game if they just didn't let the Dyna roam freely around their safe for the first 30 seconds. But Chaos and Rama trade each other out, and it's crazy how good Akios is playing on that Dynamite. Even when he does get pushed, he still manages to at least make a trade out of it.
Yeah, but I mean, if they just wait in this position, surely something can happen. All it takes is maybe it's just getting a jump and onto safe, and this is going to be a This is going to be an ANR game flipped, and it's already taking the lead now. They need damage themselves, SK Gamer, but can they get it? Mebius has jump as well. He might just go for it. Someone's got to go aggressive. Someone's got to stay defensive to stop Mebius, but can they do it? The jump comes in. They're maybe just going to have to leave him now, but Yoshi's back on the defense. Needs to take him down. OP's got the slow, but Rama's going forward. Super available, but Chaos is down on safe. 10 seconds on the clock. Rama falls, but is someone still there? Mep's still there. He takes him down as well. Chaos still getting the damage. It's close. Who's going to take the win? Chaos still alive, but it's going to be ANR who...
For SK still a singular game away from taking this and going to the grand finals today. But ANR not out of business just yet. Still trying to contest it, still trying to fight it. The heal not coming through in time though for Nob, and Yoshi is a gadget and follow-up super is going to be easily able to get that kill. Mebius trying to still get some value on safe here, and he will get some. 22% lead in favor of ANR early on. Ope, oh my goodness, so much damage from Nob. I believe on every single player from SK, but he only manages to take one down.
Yeah, Mep's getting some shots in now, but Chaos on safe, and this is what you've been doing, just trying to get up the map and focus on that safe. Super comes in from Yoshi, but a little bit too early on that one. Needed a couple more shots in. There's the shots though, and he does get a kill on that one. Nob's going to be slowed down, tried to stop him from getting his knuckle busters, but it doesn't matter because Ope stops him in his tracks, and Chaos going forward for some damage now. Maybe it's surely going to be doing the same, but actually quite low. Doesn't really want to risk it. Chaos is going to get some damage on safe and make a little bit of a lead, but it's not much.
And those Dynamax Supers are a bit of a double-edged sword, as it is going to be opening up the map. Ope goes down, and that means a couple extra attacks from Mebius. He's willing to go down here. Just wants to empty his ammo. Rama goes in onto the safe as well, but Yoshi is able to take him off it. 10% damage in favor of ANR, but not for long, as SK Gaming have the Dyna on the safe, getting a 14% lead of their own. Rama stunned for what seemed to be forever. And right now, SK Gaming in control of their game. Rama being melted down, and Ikeo's now free to get some more shots on safe. Gets his super down as well. 15% left. And Ope does go down. Mebius jumps into the safe. Nob is sticking around as well, looking to get some good value there too. 11% differential. But is that going to be enough here for SK? Or can they find a final push? What's going to happen here, Trav?
Rama's trying to go through. Chaos gets the takedowns. Rama's going to fall too. That's beautiful from SK. Chaos surely able to push up and just finish this one off. Now slow from OP as well. They can't even get up the map in time. There it goes. SK's going to the finals. ANR are going home in the semis. And what a game by SK there as well.
It was a quiet start of the year for SK Gaming, and an inconsistent year as well. But what's been consistent is their growth and how they've been playing better and better. And today, they are going to the grand finals against Zeta Division.